Hi everyone, it's Susan here. Welcome to the weekly reading. This is for the week beginning September the 17th. We just had the new moon in Virgo and a great time for manifestation, a great time for stillness. This week promises to be a beautiful shift in energy, and I hope you've already felt it. I know it came in around that time of the new moon, where there was just that kind of little bit of a wiggle happening, a little bit of more opening. And it kind of coincided a little bit with it being very, very dark. So new moon's always the time when it's darkest at the night time. There's no moon to light the sky up, is there? But it often is a time when there is a lot of deep and dark things happening for people. And if you haven't already watched it, I did release a video last week about what to do when you don't know what to do. And I think that's something really worthwhile watching if you haven't already seen it. Now, this week, it really feels softer. And the image that I get, it's the Fool card in the tarot. It's stepping off the edge of the abyss. And as you step off the edge, and that means going into something really new. So really taking a risk this week, maybe being pushed gently by spirit or by some, unseen force or a known force. They're stepping into something new. So having said yes already to something new coming into your life this week, but stepping in. But also the image was of being, stepping off that edge of the cliff, but actually being caught and held and kind of going, oh my God, this was not as painful, or it was not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. So for whatever you are experiencing at the moment, that new beginning will show its face in some way through this week. And the trick is to be ready for it. It's to be really open and saying, well, all the things I've been asking for, where do I see that new beginning? How do I step more into it? And what risk do I need to take in order to make it happen? Now, it also feels like there will be, how do I say this? A much deeper level of emotional communication with those people that you share your life with. It could be that you are one of those people that always wears the mask. And that mask is, I'm okay, everything's all right, I got it covered. And when you do that, you create a divide between you and other people, because there is this, there's a sense of superiority sometimes, like we've got it covered, don't need your help, don't need your input. So this week I'm really seeing the masks coming off in a very gentle way, which is allowing a deeper sense of communication with those people that you really love, or that you really want in your life, or that you want to bring into your life. Because there's a thing of not being afraid to say what's in your heart, and not being afraid to express yourself in a soft and kind and gentle but powerful way, so you don't feel rejected if the other person doesn't agree with you. And I know last week we talked a bit about that, that it was stepping up and really having more strong and powerful straight talk. Well, this week it feels like the opportunity for deep emotional connection is on offer. And that means being brave. It means being willing to sometimes feel a little bit vulnerable. And I just had this image too of, I believe this week you will be really looking at what your worth is and re-evaluating what worth is. And often we think we are worth something to our friends or our family if we are doing, if we are offering advice, or if we're being the bubbly person that we want to be. But sometimes our value is none of those things. It's just our actual loving presence that requires nothing of anyone else and just is happy to be. So very much moving into that being energy in this next week. I always feel like the week between the new moon and the full moon, it's a big reprieve. It's like, I can breathe again. But we are in very, very up and down times. And that's been going on for a long, long time. not just the last 3 years since COVID, but yeah, a long, long, long time. Ups, downs, ups, downs. And if you've been doing the inner work, which is the, knowing who you are, not judging yourself, being able to truly stay the course with yourself, then you'll feel the rewards of that this week. You'll just feel a little bit more hopeful, inspired, energized. And I will say the last few weeks have been heavy. And there's still going to be those spikes of energy. And look, I think those spikes of energy are going to go on for the next, unfortunately, few years, 2 to 3 years, where we're going to have these massive highs, massive lows. But you have to remember that the earth energy is working with us or for us to help shift us into a new awakened consciousness. And that awakened consciousness is where we start to think of each other in a way that supports each other instead of separates and divides us. So naturally, things that will be divisive are coming up. And there'll be things within families that come up that are divisive potentially, where people are defending old ways or defending old behaviors. And maybe those old behaviors, as I spoke about last week, are coming up to the surface. And you, as the person that is more enlightened, can step back and be in an energy of acceptance. So I really know that this week, I've just got, as I said, this thing of things speeding up, things moving forward, things being given that sign, being given those go-aheads for new projects, for new things, for things to happen. Now, I've said this many times, even though I talk about the moon a bit, I really don't know a lot about the planets. I really don't, because astrology and me just don't seem to click. And that's okay, because I get my stuff very intuitively. But I did have this thing, and I have been listening to Steve Judd, who is a really good astrologer. And I know he was talking on about Pluto, but it still means nothing to me. I have a very good friend, and you know who you are. We have coffee 2 or 3 times a week, and we walk together. And whenever she talks about astrology, I just glaze over, and I always go, I don't really know what any of that means, right? But in saying that, I just had this vision of a strand of my hair, or our hair, and connecting in with the energy of Pluto. And I went, well, I don't know what Pluto's about. But what just came through for me was that, and the hair for me is strength. It's our, you think about Samson and Goliath in the Bible. It's about strength for me, this energy of our ability to absorb information, but to carry it through. And I had this vision of us connecting in with a strand of only one small strand of hair, right, to connect in with plutonium energy. And I went, oh, plutonium. Plutonium's that stuff that they made the atom bomb out of. And look at the power of plutonium. So what all that says to me, and I'm going about this in a bit of a roundabout way, I know, but it says to me that you will be influenced a lot this next week by Pluto. If you are an astrology follower and you know what that means, great. What I'm going to say to you is it's going to blow life up in a big way for you, that you'll tap into it, but it will be strength giving. It will be heart opening. It will be that kind of superwoman, Superman energy that will come through this week. That kind of says, I've got the energy this week to do exactly what I need to do, and I might be going to blow things open in my life. So whatever that is for you, it is a blowing things open. It's a deeper energy with emotions and relationships. It's stepping off the abyss. It's stepping into the unknown and being willing this week to kind of go, well, I don't know what the outcome is, but I'm just going to follow this beautiful energy. So I'm going to share with you the Oracle of Angels cards today. And I just want to show you the back as well and just talk a little bit about that. So these cards are by beautiful Mario Duguay. And I love his work because I love the spiritual energy that comes through. And mostly we've got to really start to pay attention to everything that we touch, everything that we work with, and recognize the vibration and the frequency that goes into something when we purchase it, when we use it, when we ingest it, because that's what makes you up. It's not the whole of what makes you up. But if we're not paying attention, so that will be a message for this week, right? Okay, to pay attention to what you're listening to, pay attention to what you're ingesting, and make sure that it's life affirming and that whatever you put into yourself is blessed, so that you can bless it with your thoughts, your intentions, and make sure that you are only ingesting those things which are pure and of the highest frequency. So the back of the card is the sword of truth. And I always feel that's very Archangel Michael energy. A new beginning with the mind, but got the beautiful energy of the sun and the crystals on the bottom. So this Mother Earth, nature energy, the light above, the pink, the blue, the masculine, the feminine, and that gold energy of strength and spirituality. So I love these cards. So let's just see what other, along with these themes of new beginning, the abyss, deeper relationships, and whatever else I said earlier because I can't remember. Okay, so let's see. 3 cards. If you want to be here sometimes with me doing this, oh, I love this. Number 7. So remember, we are in a 7-year. In the 7-year, what are we here for? But self-mastery, learning to trust, learning to master ourselves so that we're ready next year for this correct use of our inner light. And that beautiful card shows that person sitting and emanating their light. But the word is harmony. And I did say I feel and see that this week will be very harmonious. So it's almost like a reprieve this week. And I can see everybody going, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, because it's been so up and down. And look, if it is still up and down, all love light to you, but maybe step into some quiet time somewhere in nature that will bring that harmony to you. And I also want to talk about this bubble of light that person's in. And I know that for many of you, you're like me. I don't really watch the news. I do see the headlines because I think we need to be aware of what's going on. But, you know, there are those people that continually feed themselves, and that's the what are we ingesting? So whatever you're feeding yourself is going to affect the energy that you can emanate. So be aware of your bubble of light this week. Step into it if you've been away from it for a while. Bring somebody new into your bubble of light. That feels beautiful. New friendships. Oh, and exactly what I said. Oh, I think that could have been though in my last video about believing in yourself. But believe in dreams, 44. So this stepping off into something new, okay, that's saying we've got angelic help with us. So this is the stepping off the edge, being caught by the angels, being caught by goodness, by, you know, so if you're going to take a risk with a relationship or a job or anything, we say, I'm going to do this differently because I know that it's time. Just trust, please trust that you are going to have a glimpse next week or this week of, you know, the dream that you've had coming to fruition. And 44, beautiful angelic number. So again, you know, 11, 22, 33, 44, those double numbers reminding us. Now the 4 energy is processes, it's hard work. It's the box that we put things in. So in this believing in dreams, it's saying you've got to take the steps and you've got to understand the, no, I don't want to call it hard work, but the part that you've got to play. And I really feel like that's saying, well, you do your bit and we'll do our bit. So you do yours and spirit will do theirs. They'll make sure that what you want comes to you. And if you look there is the infinity sign. So 2 4s are 8. We are moving into the 8 year next year. We're moving into this, what we've put out coming back to us. So again, correct use of our power. What are we doing now for next year? And I don't mean it to be so time driven, but it's really, what are we doing now that we can put out every day that's going to come back to us in a beautiful way? So really be conscious of that with your thoughts, your words, your energy this week and every week. Oh, 19, application. Now, this one I want to say, I feel that a lot of people are being, and I'm seeing it actually in a lot of my friends, where they are being asked to move. No, I'm talking about homes now. So people that have been long-term in one position, renting and having to move. So people in jobs having to move. People, not so much in relationships, it feels more around home and work, that there is going to be that new movement. And the application, meaning get your applications in, but trust in them. So if you're applying for a home, if you're applying for a job this week, believe in the dreams, like believe in the fact that you can have what you want. And you've got to put that energy into it, because this is a very powerful manifestation week this week. Get some of that plutonium energy that can blow things apart. And that might be blowing apart your lack of belief or your lack of faith and trust. So really trust this week that what you want will come to pass. But I also love it because it's applying your knowledge. So this is saying step into the spiritual knowledge that you have this week. Apply it. Don't just be one of those people that knows what to do but doesn't do it. So that thing of, we can all do the theory, we can all read the books, we can all, listen to the meditations, and we can do all this stuff, but what are we like in real life? And this is a real grounded energy. It also says to me that you're going to get a real download of beautiful spiritual information this week. And for me personally, I haven't channeled for a while, especially on a video, because it's scary as all anything, channeling on a video. I don't know whether I'll be doing that this week or not. I mean, I channel in my group, and really every time I'm reading, I'm channeling information. But you expect this week to get this real download of energy, this real, oh my God, that's the answer that I was looking for. There it is. And it just came to you. And I do want to do one more because I can, and because I like doing it. And same thing. Okay, angel whispers. So there you go. It's kind of saying this week is about listening to your angels, listening to your inner self, but really getting that help from the spirit world on what exactly it is you need, and trusting, so it could be like when I talk about going in, jumping off the edge, could be that, you get an invitation somewhere or you get an offer and you go, will I, won't I, what will I do? Well, you'll get that whisper, you'll get that, you might get the angel feather, you might get the triple numbers or the double numbers, whatever it is that you get, but expect them, look for them, act on them, and most of all, have fun with it this week, because it really delights me this week to bring a reading through that is very uplifting, because I feel it's going to be a very uplifting week. If you are struggling, and many of you are, take heart that your prayers are always heard. And then you may not feel that they're always answered, but please don't stop praying in the way that you pray. And there's many ways of praying. I don't mean, like I went to a Catholic school and we used to do the, bless me, Father, and all that sort of stuff. And that was the, for I have sinned, which not really a prayer, is it? That was confession. But, we pray in many ways, and that can just be by visualizing what we want. It can be that gratitude that you have when you're out walking or doing what you do, going about your everyday life. So keep your prayers going, keep your connection with your guides, your angels, and have the most fabulous, amazing week. And I will see you next week. All right, lots and lots and lots of love. Bye for now.